If you've been using the paper version of the Student Ratings of Instruction instrument from IDEA, and you're moving to the new Campus Labs platform and just need to know where to find things in the new platform, then this video is for you. In just a few minutes, I'll walk you through a comparison between the two. When you first log into the system, you'll see on the top left that you can change the term that you're looking at. And then underneath are a summary report, but we're going to look at the course reports. You want to look at the individual course reports here. So you'll see a list of the courses for that term. This one is still active, so we can't look at the report there, but when it's completed, it'll tell you. And you see the response rates, the number of students enrolled. And when you're ready to look at the report, simply click on View Results. On the first page of your print report, you are used to seeing the summary information here on the left. And that information is right on the first page of your CL report. You see your progress on relevant objectives is here in the middle. Your overall ratings are on the right. This is the average of B and C, it's called on the paper report. If you click on this box, it takes you into the individual questions. You see the two questions here and the average on the left. Clicking here takes me back to the home page. The raw and average scores that you're used to seeing here in this column are on this page. They're just presented very differently. You see that I can toggle here between adjusted and raw scores very simply. So the scores are there on the page and you just toggle between the two. Instead of seeing them at the same time, you toggle between the two. On the right side of the paper report, you are used to seeing your converted average scores displayed in a table. They are also here on this home page, but they're just not in a table. They're right here under each score you see. If you move your cursor over each box, it will tell you which one that is. So instead of having 5 rows, as you see in the paper table, we simply have 5 boxes here with your score displayed in it. And again, hovering over it tells you what it is. So you don't see the gray bar that you see on this on the paper report, but here you have very clearly indicated which category that score is in. The other thing that's on your first page of your paper report is the converted average compared to other groups, and you also have that here on the first page of the CL report, and it's right here compared to, right now I'm comparing these scores to the IDEA database, but simply clicking there I can change what I'm comparing to. So when I make a change here, these scores will change to whatever that comparison group is, the IDEA discipline or your institution or whatever you may have available to you. On the second page of your paper report, you're used to seeing the individual learning objectives, ratings, and details. You get to that on the CL report by clicking on the Progress and Relevant Objectives box. That opens a page with the individual items that you've chosen as important or essential in your course. You also see here the converted average comparison for those, as well as the distribution. And like everything else, you can change your raw or adjusted averages here from the drop-down. And you can also change the comparison group just like you could on the first page simply by changing the drop-down here. Also on the second page, you're used to seeing your description of course and students information, but that information is now found on the first page. When you open your course report, it may be collapsed. Simply click on it if it is, and you can see the individual course and student description items, the raw averages, and the comparison groups for those right there on the home page. On the third page of your paper report, you're used to seeing your teaching methods and styles and a column with the relevant objectives. That information is found on the CL report on the formative tab, because this is formative feedback for you. And it's organized a little bit differently, and I think a little bit more friendly, in a friendly way. You see here the list of teaching methods, and then you clearly see in the suggested action column whether the recommendation is to continue doing what you're doing with the teaching method or possibly consider increasing your use of it and some other things here. To see the details, you just click on it. And so what I'm seeing here is that this teaching method, it is recommended that you consider increasing your use because you employed the method less frequently than those teaching classes of a similar size and level of student motivation. And it's correlated with these two learning objectives that you've chosen as important or essential in this course. You can toggle between them. So you see right off the bat here, this is one I should think about because it's related to these two learning objectives. And another thing you get with the CL report that's more difficult to do with the paper is you can go straight to the note on this teaching method. So I want to consider increasing this more. What does this mean exactly? If I click on that link, it will take me to the website where there are resources about this particular teaching method where I can learn more about it. So that's right there, again, on the formative tab of the CL report. The fourth page of your paper report is called statistical detail, and this is every item on the instrument with the distribution and average and standard deviation for it. You get that information on the quantitative tab here in the CL report, and it's basically all the same information. Every item on the report with the distribution, the mean, standard deviation, number of responses. The comments that you normally see in your print report are found on the qualitative tab on the CL report. Simply click that tab and you can see the open-ended comments plus any custom questions that were added for this particular course. If they're open-ended, they would appear here on the qualitative tab. You also have something that you don't have on the print report, and that is something called a segment comparison. This allows you to compare individual items on the report to other segments available to you. Segments on a line is where this name comes from. So you see right now I'm not comparing it to any segment, but I can change and compare my course to, say, all sections of this course. And what's available here depends on how your institution has the organization of your courses set up. Now you see here that I'm comparing my course to all sections of the course on every item in the instrument. Maybe not terribly useful to you on a regular basis, but there may be some times where you want to really dig into the weeds here and learn more about how your course compares to others. So that is how the paper report compares to the online report. Everything you're used to seeing in the paper report is found in the CL report, plus a little bit more, and it's presented in a different way, hopefully in a way that you can understand more quickly as you glance at it. If you don't understand the basic concepts behind the SRI report, what a PRO score means, for example, and what the relationship is between teaching methods and learning objectives and so forth, please use the other training opportunities we have available for you here to learn more about that.